Live long and prosper. Come down the churchyard again for nature's quiet, really. Beautiful bird song, etc. And in the background here, a yew tree, hundreds of centuries old, hundreds and hundreds of years old, to represent today's episode, which is on utilization, picking up that idea from episode 17. As we move into episode 18, I want to talk about utilization, but that might not excite you. So let me give it a frame that will excite you. In neuro-linguistic programming, NLP for short, we often talk about helping people break through their limiting beliefs. What if I was to offer you today a limitless belief? A limitless belief, not a limiting belief, the installation of a limitless belief. Would that excite you? Excites me. And to do that, I want to talk about a friend of mine who understands utilization. Now, utilization is the ability to reframe everything that happens, put it in a new frame, give it new meaning, give it new significance. Take everything that happens to us, like we did yesterday with humour, adding humour to it, but today it may be humour, may not be humour, but it will be useful, utilization, utility. We're going to take everything that happens to us and turn it to our advantage. So let me tell you about my friend first of all, who hasn't had an easy life. He's been shipwrecked, seriously. He's been in prison several times. He's been on the run. He's been beaten several times. One time stoned, physical stones, not stoner man, stoned and left for dead. He's been bitten by poisonous serpents. I mean, this is a guy who's lived an interesting life. And here is his limitless belief. This chap wrote in a letter to me, he said, "I know that all things work together for good. All things work together for good." What a limitless belief. Now, that friend of mine was the Apostle Paul, who went through all that for his faith. And this isn't necessarily a faith message today, but his limitless belief was anchored in a bigger picture, a bigger purpose, a higher purpose. So his full version of what he wrote to me in the Epistle of Romans, the letter of the Romans, he said, "I know that all things work together for good for those that love God and are called according to his purpose." I ain't evangelizing today, but I do want to talk about the bigger thing. For him, that was God, and being called according to a purpose. Now, when you've got a big enough why, you can put up with most things in life. Nietzsche said that. So, how would it be if you had the skills, the chops, to make all things work together for your good, no matter what happens to you, so that you live long and prosper? Paul's message of utilization, all things work together for my good, is also the message of the entrepreneur. It's the creed of the entrepreneur. In seasons of trial like we're going through at the moment, an entrepreneur looks at the challenges, looks at the setbacks, looks at these terrible things that are happening and going, there's an opportunity here. Where there is pain, there is also a gateway, a doorway to opportunity. So that's the mindset we're going to adopt today. The resilience mindset, that is a resilient mindset set on the possibilities, on opportunities. One person's difficulty is another person's opportunity to solve that problem. We've talked about in one of our other episodes, mavens, the people who really go deep in research. We've talked about salespeople, the people that broadcast that message, and connectors. And whilst I'm definitely a maven, I'm also a connector. I want to connect you in this series to people and videos and information that have really transformed my life. And in the theme today of utilization, I want to connect you to one of the best presentations I've ever had the privilege to watch and listen to time and time again by Neil Gaiman. It's his presentation to the University of the Arts, the School of the Arts, where it's their graduation. And whilst there are many, many messages in his presentation. I'm going to pick up one today along the theme of utilization. And in it, he has this wonderful thing that when you're an artist, and an entrepreneur is an artist, when you're an artist, no matter what happens to you, that is creative fuel. It's the paint, it's the clay, it's the canvas, it's the opportunity for you to make good art. So it's a very, very funny presentation. I won't steal all the lines from it, but he's talking about, you know, if Paul gets stoned by an angry crowd, make good art. If Paul gets shipwrecked, make good art. If Paul gets imprisoned, make good art. And that's exactly what my hero Paul did. He wrote. If you're a writer, no matter what happens to you, that's an opportunity for you to write about it, to turn it into a blog, into a book, into a vlog, into a podcast. Entrepreneurs are writers too. They write a new future. They take an experience and they use their wisdom and their creative insight to elevate that experience to new levels of productivity, new levels of opportunity, new levels of possibility. So my encouragement to you today is, no matter what happens to you, see it as an opportunity to make good art. Business closed because of a virus, make good art. Business under threat of closure because of a virus, get your whole team together and go, we could all be losing our businesses here, we could all be losing our jobs here. Let's use our collective intelligence, our unique abilities brought together to make good art, to create our future. And of course, Paul went through all those things and wrote the epistles that have stood longer than the yew tree we started with. Centuries of wisdom immortalized in writing. I'm going to encourage you then to utilize everything that happens to you, perhaps with a question like, how could this be useful to me? How can I make this serve my higher purpose? Now, to find your higher purpose, that's quite a quest in life. And if you're wondering what it's like to work with me, let me spell it out specifically. If you go the full way with me, there are deliberate steps I take. Number one, we do your contribution compass to get you direction in life. Once you know for certain you are heading in the right direction, then you may have confidence to strengthen your competence in your areas of unique ability. Number two, we do your motivational map profile. And we probably do it more than once over the period of our relationship, over our journey together when we travel. And your motivation map is going to very, very precisely identify the energies, the fuel you need to head accurately in that direction, so that when adversity comes or opportunity comes, maybe it's the same thing, you can have that utility, that utilization to make the most and get it propelling you further in your true north direction. Now, you've been kind enough to watch several videos by me. To do a video, you need to be a screenwriter, you need to have a director, and you need to have a producer. So when I work with you, I work like that. We're going to come to your screenwriting in a moment, because the fuel is there in the contribution compass, in your motivational map. But there's another element as well, and it's called story branding by Don Miller. Another one of those great things I would love to connect you to. You see, I don't have clients and customers anymore. I have friends who do business with me, but they're more than friends, they're heroes. And when you build a story brand, you make your customers, your clients, the heroes of their story. You become the guide, or in this case, the director and the producer. Working with me then, we're going to find your direction, we're going to find your fuel, your energy, your motivators, the stuff that gets you going, but we're also going to build your story brand so that you are the hero of a great adventure in which you utilize everything that happens and you come out brilliantly. And then the fourth step, which really is a phase that sits under all of it, is I'm an expert in mind mapping, helping you have the map to your future. And that's quite a level of engagement I'm inviting you to join me on your journey into a life to the full where you live long and prosper. And if that sounds of interest to you, the first step is to make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell so you don't miss any of these episodes. Every single one of these episodes is about you, the hero, getting another distinction that will accelerate your journey to life to the full. Thanks for tuning in today. Hope you enjoyed the bird song. See you tomorrow. Oh, I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I like to try new things. Today, we'll be trying Port City's Essential Pale Ale.